intergalactic beings of multi-dimensional realities. Welcome to Channeling. Before we get started, yeah. I'm gonna
The songs want to come in.
I'm getting uploaded. Okay.
All right, liquid. Here's to my beauties.
Yes, water.
Here's to my pills, which I don't want to forget.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the endorsement. Everyone take care of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are we only on till?
We're on till whenever we want to be.
Oh, we can go as long as we want?
Oh, yeah. I can go till forever.
Which you guys might have places to be, but I don't.
Well, you know, within reason.
Well,
in other words, I'd hate to see us not have our full hour. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, we'll have our full hour. And before we get started, I just want to say welcome to Channeling, everyone. The finale
Yay!
of season 2. Welcome to Channeling, a historic, epic, momentous occasion. This is the awesomest season 2 finale ever of Welcome to Channeling. Because
welcome to the echo chamber of life.
Yes. And today with me is Grace, Bjarnson, my twin, and Sandra Smith. But really, it's Sandy Songjoy. Just like always, Sandy Songjoy is here with us. And we are going to review some of the highlights of this season. But before we get started, okay, I guess I'm just saying welcome, Grace. Welcome, Sandra. What is there anything first you would like to say before we get going? Oh, grab something.
Yes, your delight is apparent.
Is the Andorra? Oh, here we go. Ceremony. Ooh, we have just entered the chamber.
Oh, I'm still learning.
Beautiful. Now, like with episodes in this season, I started doing something interesting is when I met with the people that I was interviewing, I would offer my hand and invite in the guides. And I've had some pretty spectacular experiences doing that. And so let's do that now. I want people to see what that really looks like. Some of my episodes, I showed part of it, but I'm here showing it all today. So Sandy and Grace, let's go ahead and imagine us putting our hands forward with each other, and I can feel the energy of both of you here and many coming in. Ooh, yeah. We are here together today, inviting in our guides, all those who are here. We feel the cosmic energies, the cosmic entities which are here in support of us. Our guides, those who are divine, who are here in support of us sharing and assisting others in opening to their divine potential, to their divine nature, to all that they are and the depths of themselves, and helping ease their transition in this opening, helping them identify their gifts and embrace their path before them. Sandra and Grace, do you have any words to invite in the guides that you would like to be present?
I feel so much energy, and there's a lot of heat that goes along with that too. Um, Michael has always been there for me, and I want to recognize him. I want to recognize all those who have been assisting me, especially over the last few years. I want to recognize our ancestors and those Native American tribes who seem to always wish to be apart and known. And those who may be considered not of this earth, who also are here in support in a desire to help us find joy and peace and to be able to live more of our potential.
Wow.
I feel them honoring us, and I honor them in recognition.
Sandy.
No, that all are here as well. Yes, yes. The Native Americans, indigenous, the all that is, the great white buffalo, the great eagle, all are here, as are the elementals, which that's where that little one came from, as well as the inner earth beings. They are observing, as are galactics, who are just above my house. And so, let the games begin as we play in the love, in the light, in the joy.
Dudes, this is awesome. I literally felt a hand when Grace was, or hands come, and it's like they pierced through the veil and like holding my hands. It's like, holy Hannah. Ooh, talk about feeling connected. Wow.
It just reminds me of, I guess it's a scripture, but it's just a thing that people have recognized. When two or more come together with a pure intent,
Yeah.
the power that can be brought to that situation and those other entities that can join along to support that experience can be quite miraculous.
Yeah. And that's something that I want to honor in the experience of when I've reached forward, and when I say synergy, it's that investment in this new energy, this new light that gets to be produced between all of us. It's amazing.
Off the charts.
Thank you, both you and Sandy, once again, just for being here with me and being such a support for this podcast. People don't know, Grace, my twin, is the one who founded Hot Muffin Media and has been so supportive of me in my life and helping publish books that have been channeled through me. Sandra's lighting up. She's gathering something. And Sandy she popped into my life one day, and we've just been friends that just are always just saying hello. It's all good. You know what? This is going to be a lively episode, and whatever happens is whatever happens. I have ideas of, we're going to highlight a few of the episodes that we had, have put up in this season 2. Of course, we're not going to be able to cover all of them, but we'll have a few highlights But right now, I just want to sit in and ground. And I want to do kind of a round table of some words, of maybe themes, uh, uh, moments that were just pop into your mind of just fabulous, I don't know, experience as we go through. One that I just want to pop through is the beginning episode, my first episode. I just sat down and I was like, okay, I'm going to show people how I channel. And I sat down and I started typing, and you're hearing the keys type. And I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. This is who's coming in. This is what's happening. This is who's coming in. And the theme that came through was about how we're living in a dream and that we all really are connected. And my guys just really went through a beautiful experience. So that's something that just popped into me. But we can say even a word if you want. Grace, what comes to you?
Connection.
Connection. Sandy.
Authenticity.
For me, expansion. Grace.
Oh, gosh. I felt so much love for all of your guests. So much love for them.
Yeah. Sandy.
Off the charts.
Off the charts. Oh, I'm going to do this. This is going to be exciting, you guys. Okay. Grace.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll get in the mood. Grace. Power.
Sandy.
Unusual.
Gwen. Fun. Grace.
Intriguing.
Sandy.
Joy.
Whoa, joy. I love it. And Gwen. Innocence. Innocence. Grace.
You guys take my stuff. I'd say knowledge.
Knowledge.
The sharing of knowledge.
Yeah. And Sandy.
Transformative. Transformative.
And Gwen. Connection. Yeah.
You stole mine, Gwen.
Gwen.
No, I mean, I already said it.
Yes, you did.
Oh my gosh. You know, that's okay. We're all here together. You know, hey, you know what?
Sorry.
I also want to, just because there's so many guests and we can't cover all of them, maybe we can all throw out a few favorites of episodes. Just throw it out there and say kind of some favorites for us. I want to start with you, Sandy, because you're top-notch guest number one. What were a couple of your favorite episodes this season?
One of my favorite. Oh my God, I had top 5. Narrowed it down to simply because I resonate with pretty much all of it, and there's more I want to know. Ashley Brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I called Ashley, when someone says a certain person, I'm going to talk about how I connected with them or something else. Ashley, I got a request from her to be on the podcast, and I read about her, and I felt into her energy, and I'm like, this woman is deep. She has traveled a very deep journey, and she continues to be in medicine, you know. And tell me something specific that you really enjoyed about her episode.
She had certain taglines that I felt was going to be something that I would want to try to remember, and then I've jotted notes. Just had a memory. Yay, memory. What's that? So now I can find. See, it's important that I remember this thing that she said. Doggone it anyway, but then notes don't cooperate either because then they're all jumbled together. Okay. What the heck?
Hey, you know
Okay,
what? I'm gonna
forget it.
Because I have a little video.
There's just so many things that I could say about her, and I wrote them all down, and I can't seem to make sense of them.
We had so many moments together of just what I felt were like pearls and gold. Here's one moment that I really want to show. I'm going to bring up just a small clip here for us to all listen to.
That they did. Mm-hmm. I set this in motion. When I was 17, I was so distraught about childhood abuse and things that I went through. I left home at 17, about a month after I turned 17, and went to college. And I made a vow that would end up playing out for the next 20 years. And that vow was about wanting to die, not wanting to be here. And that I would denounce certain parts of my life, certain parts of myself, because I didn't think that I was worthy.
Wow.
And so I had cursed myself. And the number of people involved that played a role in this, I can blame them and point fingers, but it started with me. And so that was, if I had kept on that trajectory, I would have died, just like I asked for.
Yeah. Wow.
I found it.
Intense. Yeah. All right, Sandy.
Again, there's so much, so depth. Unwavering commitment to your vision.
Yeah.
An unwavering commitment to your vision, and you feel every energetic word when she says it because she's lived it.
Oh, yeah.
And therefore, that's why she was my top.
Top number one.
Not that there's has to be a linear thing here. They all brought something special to the table, each one of them. It's just something I resonated better with.
And right now, I energetically just want to reach out and thank every single guest that I've had this season. When I began the season, I had this feeling, and I was talking to my guys, and I was saying, I need to have on more guests. But I felt kind of trapped in a different world at that time, and I didn't know how to find the people that were going to be my guests. And I asked for assistance, and I told my guides, can you please take care of that for me? I have a lot on my plate. And like a couple months later, voila, I got an email in my box saying, we would like to highlight you so that people can find you to be a guest. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So isn't it amazing how things work? If I was scrambling that whole time, I would have been spinning my wheels and putting my focus on something else. But I turned to my guys and I said, you said you're going to be here to support this. I need some assistance. Please help me find my guests. And so that was awesome. And she was the first one out of all of them that I called, and I recorded from doing that. Pretty cool, right?
I found that guest, I connected with her very thoroughly because I understood where she was coming from. And I was impressed by her power, her willingness to stand and say, this is my life. I get to create this. I get to be responsible. I get to figure this out. I am willing to do things that seem crazy to other people in order to get what I want. And there was a lot of bravery in just her very being.
Yeah. I think we all kind of share a beautiful honoring for Ashley, and I hope that, of course, she listens to this and feels that from us, and our support, continued support for her in her journey. So Awesome. There is Ashley Brothers. Everyone, if you have not watched that episode, of course, I would encourage you to watch all of them. But hey, she is a highlight for us. And Grace, is there a specific episode for you that stood out that it was just like, oh man, I love that?
There were a lot of amazing guests. It's really hard to be like, oh, just that one. I would like to mention Tom Palladino.
No.
And him talking about scalar energy. And
oh, I'm so glad you brought him up.
I think for me, it was really enlightening. And I know based upon that interview that it's something that I need to look into further. It's something that I need to understand more fully. I think with these guests, it's helped introduce me to ideas and concepts and things that I go, oh, that's something I need to understand better. That's something I can look into. But with him particularly, some of these concepts of this scalar energy and the power of understanding how we allow that power into our lives and recognize that energy and basically Godhood, that power, that ability within us. And I'm excited to learn more. I really am about that. There was a concept, I didn't write any notes down about him, but there was a concept that he talked about in there that really helped bring home more of that understanding of we are all the universe. We are all God. We are all a part of this big thing that in our earthly body we can't understand fully. But we are literally a part of it, and we can tap into our power. And it's not just, oh, because I'm worthy, or oh, because of this or that. It simply is our nature. It is what we are. And recognizing that fully. And I think that's a journey that I am on, and continue taking one more step of understanding that more fully in my life. And so I really appreciated him sharing what he's doing with that and giving us a little introduction into scalar energy.
Yeah. And I think, excuse me, my throat is.
There's another one I do want to mention, of course, Korajam too, but I'm just saying, I would say.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about Tom because Tom, he's getting his voice out there, and a lot of people have interviewed him, I think. But there was something really beautiful for me in that I signed up for the experience of being connected into the scalar light. And it's so interesting to feel into, maybe new sensations, or how it's maybe helping me in a little bit more of my stability. But there's another thing that's so cool about it, and I didn't expect this, is that every day I'm getting updates. And in those updates, he's talking about the metaphysics. He's talking about minerals and what they do. He's talking about specific stones. He's talking about all these different things. And I'm like, I'm getting a full education that's like PhD level, like stuff, information that he sends out to anyone who's signed up for what he's doing.
I need to sign up.
I know. I'm just like, I'm like, how do I make it so automatically when a email from him comes in that it gets forwarded to all my friends? It's kind of at that state where I'm like, I wish I could just send this to everyone because it's so educational. And I wish he would highlight that when he says, yeah, when you sign up, I'm going to be sending you all kinds of information all of the time. So yeah, that's just something I want to commend him on. And it's so professional how he sends out information, how he works with people. And I've written in notes or comments to him, and I've received emails back, saying, "Oh, thank you for that comment," or this is the case with this. And so it's just like, I'm like, this is A class. I love it. A plus. So if any of you are curious about interacting with him, what he has to offer, I was hoping that I would just be able to say that to people, because he sells himself. He has a spiel down. He's like, okay, I'm going to say this, the 1,000th time, but he has actually so much wisdom that he can share with people, and a lot of intelligence. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Talking about oneness, I wanted to show a clip from one of my favorite episodes, partly because it showed me that I could have people on that I really didn't know. It was like this new venture in me. And the person that opened that doorway to me was Katara Sky. She was so gracious. She showed up, and she went into it. Like, we were in shamanic experiences during that episode, and I was like, this is what I want it to be like. And so I want to show a little clip of me talking about me opening to my name, my Buddhist name, and she just totally went for it and helped everyone assist in kind of walking into the oneness. So I'm gonna play that out for us here. Here is Katara Sky and her helping us come into our oneness. Check it out.
But like you described, that you need to go through the shadow of the heron as the keyhole, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter if we're working on entering through the light or entering through the shadow. Everything in the yin and the yang and the polarity of our universe right now is you need to have both sides and both merged, where there is no separation. When does light become dark? When is dark becoming light? It's like looking at a thermometer. Where does it delineate where hot becomes cold and cold becomes hot? There isn't. So it's one and the same on the spectrum. You're just perceiving whatever you perceive. And for everyone to allow themselves this merge of the greatness, the grandeur, the vastness, the energies, the cosmicness is not outside of you, but it is part of you. And someone else may again only reflect that truth back to you and help you to build that bridge, to connect, and to vibrate it into more resonance, to strengthen that connection that is within you.
Ah, beautiful. I so enjoyed that interview with her, bringing in the dragons, because I've had a connection with dragons for a while. And she was like, "Are you a dragon?" I'm like, "Yes, I am a dragon." What a perfect way to enter in this year, right? Talking about dragons and inviting in the dragons. So I just want to personally thank her for her being that guest that opened that door for me, that made me say, I can do this. It's okay. It's awesome. So, Sandy, you are nodding your head. I'm going to turn Grace's mic on. Everyone, we're going to be hearing some AC stuff going on here, but heck, this is how life is.
Okay. Thanks, Gwen.
Yes,
we can hear you loud and clear anyway.
No, I just realized something as you were talking about that doorway and her being that kind of that step into hosting these people and having these video podcasts and so forth, and having these experiences. And it actually just helped me understand something that happened in my life. I'm not going to share what it is, but I'm just saying it enlightened me.
Good. We're getting enlightened here, even on the finale.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's one episode that I really loved having. I'm going to turn back to you, Sandy, and just hear into another of your favorite episodes this season.
Ooh, another one? Okay, pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which way do I want to go? Okay. Okay, I'm strangely enough, I'm not gonna choose one of the favorites. I'm gonna choose one of the hit me, and I'm still figuring it out.
Okay.
And that's Cat Galata.
Yeah.
Cat,
Great.
I know would resonate with. At first, when I first heard her, she was like, "Oh, cool!" I'm like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Oh, look what she just did. Okay, so what I received from her interaction with you when she used the wand,
Yeah.
because her methodology is something I never heard of, and it was completely new to me and foreign. But she seemed to have, at least the first round of listening to her, I just open-hearted and just whatever. But the second time I listened to her, something felt off. And so I'm like, well, maybe it's me. And then what I received when she was taking you on that visionary path with the wand was the power of choice. I received it as well. That power of choice that you received, I also embodied that as well. And it's been continuing to activate and happen in my life. And who knows where it's going to lead. So, yeah, so Cat, we'll just say Cat for her joy and unconditional love no matter what. And for her being completely unique in how she approached things. But I want to share the other person because they seem to have equal things with you.
Yes.
I mean, Cat, and I don't know if you're going to know who I'm going to say.
I don't. I'm guessing.
Leela Rose.
Leela.
Leela. Oh my gosh. As I was going through my mind, remembering the different people I'd listened to, I was like, Leela, I don't even know why. I said, it was like I didn't even have to know why I like Leela. It was just like you could just say Leela Rose and be in her presence and go, okay. That's kind of how I felt about it. She did have she does help people in wonderful and magnificent ways, who are dealing with trauma and mental difficulties and so forth. And that seems to be her jam, but there's just so much more to her, more depth, and we'll perhaps see more.
I'm going to pull her up, present, video file. Oh, yeah. Leela Rose, here you are. Okay. So this is a little bit of a longer clip, but this is me in the entrance of us coming together. And what's really cool about this is that she was before we even started, it was almost like we had a little mini episode. It was just like this really beautiful exchange, some really poignant things. So I wanted to share this a little bit with you. And I may fast forward a part there. This is me singing. So sometimes when people come on, they're hearing me sing like this. Let's see what this is. Oh, the response. I got much more than I'm going to put you on, darling. There we go. Welcome to the stage. Welcome.
Oh. Wow, it's so beautiful here.
Oh, thank you. I love what you're sharing with me too behind us. My goodness. I wanted to forward to the
video. Or is this live?
It's not. It's live. She's so funny. Okay, let's see if I can get this on here. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm open to that possibility. First, I wanted to, before I start, I wanted to feel into what's coming through you right now. And then before I start, I usually hold out my hand and connect with you and do that kind of things. But I wanted to hear from you what's opening with you right now?
What's opening for me? Well, first I'd like to acknowledge that ease it into being, I could deeply resonate with. I feel like there are these like bigger babushka parts of us that we forgot we were, and we didn't identify with that, and we thought it was like a higher self, a fantasy, someone we wish we would be, or like some way we never saw. And I feel like it's almost like a birthing process to ease those versions of ourselves into being and adapt in a way that feels yummy into actually reclaiming those versions of ourselves that aren't like not what we were before. It includes all of it. It's like all in.
No, I totally relate to exactly what you're saying. I'm like, amen. I love that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what else is coming through you?
What's really been a big part of my recent memory of my life is really owning my authentic rhythm. So I'm seeing very clearly that these big things that we think we need to do or step into, or it's really about being honest with the rhythm that feels good to my body, to other people, and to slow down enough to notice the subtlety in the rhythm and the authenticity in our beingness. That authenticity, ooh.
A blooper there.
I don't understand technology fully, but it works out. Is to like, that version of us is very easeful because it's natural. It's in its natural, in its native state. We're in our true expression. So there's ease in the body, there's relaxation, there's inspiration naturally because we're part of it. And so I'm really noticing how slowing down even more when I think I'm slowing down, but I'm like, oh, I'm going slow. Great. And then it's like, I'm going to go slow so I can go faster. I'm going to go slow to create, or I'm going to go slow. So no, it's like unconditional slowness without an expectation of what it will lead us to, because what it leads us to isn't even what we imagined it would lead us to. It's like a whole new of seeing ourselves and our environment and the elements and others and life. And so a huge claiming my authentic true rhythm and not moving around like a high stress level production robot.
Fun, right? I can so relate to that. And right now, even as I'm listening to it, I'm like, it's this amazing reminder to myself. Leela Rose, I have had as a friend for a few years now on Facebook, and I immediately connected with her. And I was just like, this woman is willing to express kind of the insanity. And it's like she doesn't care, you know, it's a way of being able to own all of, you know, what's fighting to be heard within her and bring it into her wholeness. So she is a character, and I was so happy when she became a guest and we were sitting there face to face, and it was like, and I think it said in the episode, it was like, it's about time, but I feel like we've done this before. I mean, I feel like we know each other so well, even though we had not even had one face-to-face conversation before. And so I feel into her like, you know, she's a soul sister. I don't even know how to say it. It's like, that's how it is. And I think it's so interesting she's someone who I knew way before, but it's interesting feeling into a lot of my guests, feeling like I get the opportunity to create even more of that feeling with these other people that I'm starting to connect with. And so I think that's something that's been so beautiful about the season. The word connection. Connection. Anyways, thank you for bringing that up, Sandy. And I want to hear your next? Oh, she was the last one. There was someone else you wanted to talk about. So go ahead.
I wanted to be fair and make sure that Grace gets in her people. So you have anybody else you want to mention, Grace, before I do that?
I wanted to mention Cora Jum talking about music and sound. And it was the first time that we had done an episode face-to-face and not on the computer. And so that was a little bit unique in that they were really talking to each other. And so the audience, it was as if they were watching this conversation, but they weren't seeing it front-faced. So I think maybe that we need to work on how we go about doing those type of live podcasts, and so that we can come up with some better ways of doing that. But I just love Cora Jum. I love the incredible knowledge she has and power that she has when it comes to sound. And just a little bit was shared, but I also loved being able to be a part of that sound bath that was created. I was sitting there and Gwen started the sound bath and I was just relaxed. Like, yeah, this is awesome. I just get to listen in on this. And then Gwen's like, she's like tapping me like,
I was glad we didn't have the video on because I'm like, get your ass over here.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then, and I don't think that people realize that the songs that we do, it's completely impromptu. It is not something that is rehearsed ahead of time. It is something that simply flows, and you can connect into the energy that's going on with the bowls or with Gwen, and basically find a way to help support that. And that's the role that I played in these particular songs that came out. And I feel honored to be able to express in that way. I feel honored that I can work with these people, and I hope to do more in the future. And I thought the sound bath was amazing, and I hope that it can bless a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. I do have a blooper connected with this episode. It was really interesting because we were sitting there, prepping. Cora's swamp cooler or AC had gone out, and like someone was there working on it, and we'd hear these noises, and we're like, okay, we're setting up to record and everything, and here I'll show you. We just were like, we're just going to record. Whatever happens is whatever happens. So this is what's leading into this, and I will listen in and see what happens. Isn't that great?
I love the timing. It was so perfect.
I love it when that happens. It's just like, it was so great. I love that. You have to have some humor when you're recording and you're doing these things. I mean, and I love what you mentioned, Grace, because really when we entered into that, when I was sitting there, I literally just felt me open, and it was like, oh, it's time to channel. I'm like, literally the sound and what she was producing, literally it was just like, I was like, oh, okay, here it is.
Yes, those bowls can inform. They can just simply open you up and you take it from there. It's quite powerful what can happen, what sound can do to connect us to all that is possible and to all that we are.
Yeah. Sandy, you're nodding. What was your experience of that episode? It was one of the most recent.
And amazingly, I actually got to see it before this. Yeah, it was triggering in a beautiful way. Okay, so
Mhm.
before I listened to that earlier yesterday, I was having a little song joy with some of your music, and I sent a copy of it. Doing a little harmony with one of your songs.
Yeah,
And that was so fun. I was having so much fun with that. It was so much
it
joy.
was.
And then, not only are you interviewing this person, but you're gonna do bowls and song joy with her. And I'm sitting there, and my little muses in me are like going, "Oh, we're gonna have fun here." And so when you guys were singing, I chimed in, even though I couldn't sing with you. So
That's so
yeah,
great.
I chimed in at least in the first portion of it. Then somehow, strangely enough, later on in the recording, there was sound that she was making that was suddenly discordant with me.
Mhm.
So I'll go back and listen to it again and feel into why that occurred. If it was just a momentary thing, or if it's just something that wasn't resonating with me specifically, even though it might others.
Yeah.
I sometimes run across that where what seems to be a wonderful tone for another may not be a wonderful tone for me. It's an energy, as Cora said, she brings in whatever energy comes through her. She really, I didn't feel like she was just like, come on in. The smorgasbord is here. That's how I felt she had said it. That doesn't mean that's how she meant it. Um, and so, yeah, I didn't get to hear, but yeah, seriously, the vibes between you guys and the singing was just off the charts. And I'm just like, I want to sing joy with us three because it's so fun.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
and I was a little jealous that she was right there with you.
Oh, so sweet. Well, you know what? I feel, I think destiny, something is in the charts, that all three of us will be able to get together and just have some lovely experiences like that. Of course, everyone who's here with us, me and Sandy, we look like maybe we just hang out with each other in regular life, but I've never given you a hug, woman. In the
Not
physical,
physically.
not physically, but we've done everything else. and as far as going out into the ethers and exploring.
Okay, Gwen, yeah. Be careful on the way you say that. The way you said that.
You guys, keep it PG. Okay?
Hey, it's all a perspective things, and it's not up to us to decide how people think.
It's all exactly. It's all a perspective. I wanted to bring it Sandy. So I was like, I don't care what they think. I wanted to bring up just a couple different episodes before before we close out this amazing experience. But one episode that I thought was really unique was my one with Christy Avalon, who is the romance writer. And I know Christy because she actually edited our books for us. She actually edited the channeled books. And Christy, one thing that I got to do is I got to shine in a way because I got to do what's called Big Mind. And Big Mind, it was created through Genpo Roshi, my Roshi, and I got trained and have had many, many hours of training in Big Mind process. And I got to sit and go into different aspects of her. And I actually got to talk to the bad boy. I got to sneak in there by first working with her protector, because that's how you get to do it. Because there's always someone protecting you from getting into all those aspects that were said that weren't okay. And I went through her protector, and this was how I was sneaky. And I guess a part of me says, see, this is me owning my sneaky and saying sometimes it's very beneficial to be sneaky. So here we go. Here it is.
Right. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you, controller, and all that you've done for Christy in her life.
This is me complimenting her protector
to
or controller.
live a life and feel protected in these ways, right? Is there a way that you, as the controller, can see the benefit that Christy has had by writing about bad boys?
Oh, yes.
What are those benefits that you see as the controller in her life?
She gets to explore what it would feel like to not suppress, to live out loud, boldly, outlandishly, bravely.
There we go. I just thought this was so pertinent because part of what I'm really talking about, and so many are talking about, are our stories. And what are we willing to play out? What are we willing to accept into our lives? All of us play different roles, and a lot of the times we're like, no, that little role isn't going to be a part of me. I'm the good girl. We talked about being the good girl and what was appropriate and not. And it was really fun to be able to walk in and talk from the bad boy. The bad boy was saying, like, I'm going to help her have good boundaries in relationships. I'm going to help her know what she needs and be able to say, no, you're not acceptable for me, right? Like, this was the gift that the bad boy got to bring her in her life. It was really, really fun. Grace, do you remember that episode?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll step back. Okay. Yes, I definitely did remember that. And I was like, holy shit. You know, in other words, it was like going into a therapy room it's not exactly the same thing as, say, dealing with an alter or someone who has many different parts of them, like someone who has dissociative identity disorder. But frankly, people are unwilling to understand that there are so many aspects of themselves and that we can personify them, talk with them, work with them, and that this is a helpful way to actually be able to make headway in these conflicts that might be going on within us, and to recognize those different parts of ourselves and to honor them. I thought it was very beautiful, Gwen, that you honored the protector. And this is a very critical thing to do in order to get them to soften up and take a more healthy stance. If they feel like they're being attacked, then you're not going to get anywhere. So for me, it really highlighted the fact that we need to learn how to accept and love and approach every single part of ourselves and be open to understanding what these different parts offer us, and to try our best to not stand in a place of judgment as to whatever may come up. Because when you allow yourself to open into that space, all sorts of surprising things that you haven't allowed to feel or understand will flow, will come up. And I appreciated you doing it in such a loving and accepting manner, because that is critical.
Thank you, Grace. It's something that I continually need to remind myself of. I just was working with someone recently and felt like I kind of, had butted right into a wall. But I think a part of it was just me being so assertive that, being able for them to see and enter in a way where it feels safe enough for them, and that their energies are directed in a way to help open rather than to protect because they don't feel that connection, that you're honoring them. I think it's an important thing for me to continue to recognize and figure out ways that I can really see. My name in ceremony a lot of times is ease, to help bring stuff in ease. And when I get off of balance a little bit, then things get a lot harder. I feel those walls, you know?
Yeah. I was going to say, shoot, for most people, I can't speak for everyone, but generally I would say that there are parts within us, or that we've identified as part of us, whether they are or not, that we have hidden deep within us, that we have allowed to be separate. And in order for light to be brought to those things, it is important for us to provide a space of safety. You can still have integrity with safety and with love and compassion and understanding. You can still make progress. And the more that these parts of us that are so dark and so much pain, so much anguish, so much separateness, so much fear, so much horror, whatever that may be, the more willing they will be to share themselves and allow those parts to start breaking free and release. But it requires an incredible amount of love and compassion and integrity.
Yeah. Thank you, Grace, for that comment. We're on a talk show here now today. What was that, Sandy?
Beautifully said.
Beautifully said. One thing that I want to honor too in that experience is the more that we do so, we start to understand our sovereignty and how what I was speaking with her, that controller, when it's alchemized, it's simply us aligning with our higher self in sovereignty. And we're actually there helping guide and direct, that these voices and these aspects are being held as they come forward, and they are not the system can feel like it's going crazy if we say, oh, we're going to bring something forward and now is in charge. No. It is honored. It is not in charge. Our full and complete alignment is what is in charge. It is being held and brought into the light and integrated so that we can feel more of our wholeness, if that makes any sense. And this is a different perspective for us, and a fine detail that can make all the difference in the world. When we're opening to these aspects of ourselves, some people say, I just want to express in whatever way. And my, my dark female is going to come out and do whatever she wants. No, this is actually a way that we feed our ego, and actually it becomes puffed up rather than us saying, no, there's divineness here. And I am here assigning and allowing the expression to come through for integration, allowing this to come through, but it's not here to take control. It's not here to take control. That's not the point of this. The point for it to take control.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people, like you were saying, have this concept of that, where that's what happens. Yeah. But it's important for people to realize that we are always in choice. Mm-hmm. Always in choice. And if we are not recognizing that we are more than whatever that feeling is, or that emotion, or that part of us, we have chosen not to. We have chosen not to recognize that this is this part that we've been identifying as us, that thing, whatever it is. But we are bigger than this entire house in comparison, and even more bigger than the entire world. And we get to recognize that we make our choices every moment, and we can't blame a certain aspect of ourselves. We can't, or someone outside of ourselves. We have to be the one that says, I am more than this, and I am making a choice in this moment.
That's really powerful, because really, you know, in this walk of medicine and self-realization, sometimes these aspects, when they're revealed, they can seem overwhelmingly large. You know, like when we start to open it, they can feel this way. And so we get to be in love and patience as we learn how to manage these things that are opening up to us. And I just say flat out to people, if you need assistance, go find a therapist that you really connect with. Go to someone that you really trust. You know, we delve into these things in the ways we know how here, but in no way do I say that I'm going to be replacing, or what we share here is going to be replacing you being with someone who can help you walk through some of these difficult things, right? So if anyone is really in a suffering state, please reach out to someone for assistance, because we are able to manage these things over time in our own maturity, but we had people assisting us to be able to do so, right? All of us did. All of us have. Sandy,
Absolutely.
I'm seeing Sandy's nod.
Yes, thank you. Agreed. It was those years of group and personal therapy that walked me through and helped me actually integrate a lot of the aspects of myself. I was just sitting here listening. I don't know if it was Leela or whatever it was. I said, oh, that's what was happening back then. A lot of my selves were called in and became a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so, and I became that person that had so many voices, but I knew they were all me. So yeah, at the time, therapy was very gracious, and even today, there are some grand workers out there. I just will refrain from stating anything I have to, which is strictly opinion on that one, because of some of the things I've seen within that realm. But overall, people get help. I also find within our communities, there are people who have the ability, they may not be quote unquote slapped with an MA and have a therapy thing, but are therapists nonetheless, and they come across as such. So, and they will just as easily say that's not who they are or what they do. But there are many, many way showers who do bring that aspect into their healing energy. And I find that way more effective than just working with just the mind therapy. I am a strong proponent of using it all. If you just, for me, just the mind therapy will not take it through enough unless that person is a multi-dimensional connected therapist, then I feel they will take us to the next level. Otherwise, they can only take us so far, and that is, again, me being opinionated, so I'll be quiet.
No, I love
your opinions.
I love the word way sharing that you said, that word. And I think that it's good to recognize those people around us who can help us along the way, whether they recognize it or not, and not just be like, oh, that person is a registered so-and-so, you know, they've got their license or whatever. But there are plenty of people, family, friends, others who have an incredible amount of knowledge, and we can support each other. Community is really important as we discover ourselves and as these transitions take place.
Yeah. I think community has been a part of the theme of this season a lot, especially in the last several episodes, as really community is important. Us being able to connect in with those who are on a similar path. Some may have been on it longer, but us feeling the support, the cheerleading, them saying, even someone being able to say, look at how you did that. Just, you were that much stronger this time. How you did that much better this time, and being able to help us identify the ways that we are learning and growing, and offer us feedback when we need it. Because we do need feedback. I do need feedback. I enjoy hearing feedback, even though sometimes it hits deep and I'm like, oh, okay. Let me be that for a minute here. But it's, it's like, thank you for offering me a perspective, and especially with people that we respect. And we know they're not just sharing to just shoot out shit. They're sharing in honesty and wanting to really, because they do care about our path. They do care about us personally and our who we are and the depth of what we are. So I thank all those people who have given me feedback in this way in my life. But I want to bring back really quickly to this thought of these different aspects and owning them. And this is something interesting because a few new entities have shown up that I just started channeling. And this is one of the newer episodes. And this is Zeb and Anna, the Anunnaki. Okay. And one thing that they're making very clear to me is that the reason they express themselves in the way they are is because they are allowing me to see aspects and parts of me that I have pushed away and I've shoved away. One of them is like this boldness, this, wanting recognition, this ability to just go out and be on the edge and play. This is what Zeb really, this is a part of his energy. And the way to look at things in a way that's simple, but also one of the beautiful things is really there's a huge depth that I'm receiving, even though there's this light play and this boldness that's happening, that's coming through. It's just really me. It's been fun because part of me, I've been feeling some of the interaction of Zeb for the last few years, but I've been like, I wonder when that's going to land, or what is that? Because it's so playful, and I don't know if it's just a trickster or if it's, if it's something that could be beneficial. So I've had that question in my mind, and then boom, they show up when I'm like, I need to break through some of these walls. And they're like, you've asked and we're here for you, but you also get to help the world and yourself reclaim these aspects of your wholeness. And so it's been really interesting to feel into that, to see these entities that are showing up actually also can be seen as, aspects of the whole that just simply get to be recognized and honored because they do have something to offer to us, even if they were a bad boy in someone's story. Ha! Do you see how I tie that all together?
I know. I'd like to tag into that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Simply because if I don't want to lose my thread. So I feel that yourself and Ashley have some similarity in that you challenge the narrative. As a shaman, she has challenged the narrative of more than just shamans. And I find that your work also challenges the narrative, people's perceptions, people's. I'm going to go back to narrative, so let's quit saying that. In ways that we have our preconceived or our general notions out there of what an Anunnaki is, and we have our general notions about what play is and all these things. And you have smashed the glass ceiling on all of them. And of course, just recently, the Anunnaki, because that word, that name, that being, that aspect is highly charged right now in the world of disclosure and those arenas. And there's a good, even within that movement, there are discrepancies because we only know so much. There's only so much that the ancient tablets are telling us, and there's only so much that the other things that we're discovering on the planet can tell us. And those who dive deep have dived very deep and have a good deal of more information out there than you're going to see in the general world. But that term Anunnaki is still a bugaboo amongst researchers. So I find that when yourself and was it the other gentleman, was he not?
Oh, Sandy, you're coming in and out.
Oh, sorry. Every now and again, I get these little circles on here. My computer must be acting up.
Yeah. If you can go back to talking about the going deep, I think that's when it started. I'm hoping that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're back. Okay.
Oh, all the way back to going deep.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna summarize.
Yeah.
You and Ashley both are breaking the glass ceiling. That's what I was just trying to say. That it is you guys that are bringing out and challenging the idea of what channeling is, the idea of who you can channel, the idea of what's who that is that you're channeling, and so many more. There's so many more ceilings you'll probably be breaking because there's just so many preconceived notions. I've had my own. Of course, I've been hanging around the world. I guess I picked up on them and embodied them into myself. So yes, the perhaps there are those who may not come your way because they're not ready to hear yet, not ready to challenge their preconceived notions of things. Because even in the so-called enlightened sovereign world, there are those who have difficulty with that because their information is so important that it can't be integrated yet with the energetic world. It's like I see this need for this energetic world and this world of research and whatever. It's coming together, slow but sure. But it is still has its polarity, which is my not so favorite thing today. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we talk about polarity, and I know part of us is like polarity is a bad guy, but actually we can use polarity for a benefit, just like the synergy of us three together. We're playing in polarities here. We're playing in magnetism. We're playing with the power that the synergy of all this together can be. But
I wanted to mention something about. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to mention something when it came to Zeb, and something that really was extremely powerful was what you were talking about there when he was mentioning the incredible dynamic of, say, for instance, masculine and feminine. And we can, of course, recognize the oneness, and we can recognize that we have masculine and feminine within all of us, but also going, wow, this is amazing. And us in these physical bodies get to experience it in this manner. And it is powerful. And we can dance with it. We can play with it. We can see how powerful this can be. But also not diss those who, say, for instance, feel more of the oneness than I am masculine or I am feminine or whatever it may be, but allow all of those aspects to be here and celebrate them thoroughly, because it's something that we get to understand through the physical bodies that we have now that we can't fully understand when we are not in this experience. So it was like, sorry, but
great education.
I had some very powerful shifts listening to that episode. I mean, as in extremely powerful. And so I just wanted to mention that. Sorry.
No, that's beautiful. I know we're coming to a close, but I wanted to mention, I channeled, I think it was yesterday, Anna, and Zeb came in at the end, and I want to put her up again. But yeah, I mean, just the heart of it was a healing, such a healing experience. I have never had more. I've had some healing experiences channeling, just like by entering in and feeling the energy. But my experience with these two is like, it's kind of interesting. It's like they know my technique, and they know, like, they literally are coming in and doing healing work in my system. Like, and it's almost like they look at it like I do. Like, I am so fascinated. I like to look at things as systems. How is this set up? How can we shift it? How can we change this so that we have more, a greater perspective, the mechanisms. I'm so excited about that. And it's like, they have some real understanding of the mechanisms of how things work. And, it's really amazing to feel the amount of healing that I am experiencing in my interaction with them. And Anna's opening up and talking about what's considered the main Anunnaki that we often talk about, like the ancient. She uses a term, and I forget what they are. It's like the beginning, the firsts. I guess you could say she talks about them, the firsts. And like their charge over parts of creation, literally. So, anyways, it's interesting to see what's coming out, what's unfolding. And I loved what you were talking about, Sandy, of, yeah, we're getting to challenge our stories. And Zeb is telling me that I get to be brave and bold and challenge the story. So here I am, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm sure there's more that we'll hear, and we'll go on adventures with that. But I thank you all. I want to ask if there's any last little tidbits of love, or I don't know, something that you learned in this season or moving forward, because I'm going to end with one of my favorite clips and experiences that I had in this season. And we're going to end with it. I don't want to tell you who it is, but I want you guys to be surprised and enjoy it. But before we go, Grace, is there anything that you'd like to share?
I would like to say that I want to congratulate you, Gwen, on an amazing season. I think that you had some brilliant people who shared some amazing things. You have put so much energy, so much effort, so much time into this, so much love. And I want to personally thank you. And I'm proud to have this podcast offered under Hot Muffin Media as a podcast of that. And I just want to make sure that people are aware of that fact, that there's a lot that it takes to do something like this. And there's a lot of love, energy, and time that goes into it. And I'm deeply grateful for all who have participated, and for all who are listening, for all who share it with others. And that is my endorsement.
Oh, I appreciate that, Grace, because it's a lot of hours. It's a lot goes into this. And I am so grateful for my guests and what they bring, what they're sharing, and their willingness to just jump in. I think one my favorites was one of our last ones, Nikki Starcat Shields, jumping in, and her being, helping people with their story, a story midwife, and just her willingness. She had not channeled in front of anyone vocally before, and she was just like, okay, cool. She just did it. She, and she was up with the playing, and I was pretending she was my teacher, and it was just I love that I can invite these people on and they're just down. They're down for it. And you, Sandy, I love, we open and of course we'll sit and we'll do our stuff and I'll be like, can I record this? Because I think this would be great. That's what happened with the Andars. And I'm like, Sandy, we get to record this. Okay?
I agree. So we're going to be blipping in and out here, so I'll try to get things in before I blip again. I too want to express my gratitude for such a great season. How are you going to top it? You will.
Well, I am. I am.
And you are. And
season, you guys.
Anyway. Okay, so yeah, every now and again the Germans come in and get really so I wanted to also give great credit to Hot Muffin Media. I don't say it enough. I'm going to say it a million times in energy right now. Thank you, Grace, for all the background work you do for Hot Muffin Media. And I do my best to promo you when I can. Promos, yes, shameless promos. This is for this. If you haven't listened to just this season, you should listen to all the seasons of Welcome to Channeling, because they all have awesome things to bring, and some are very poignant.
Yeah.
Okay, and a shameless plug. Yes, I have a YouTube channel, Sandy Songjoy. Yes, she's a work in progress, a little baby girl compared to the big mama that WTC is, but she's her own little thing. So that's how we'll do the shameless plugging, mainly because I have so much fun and I'm so grateful to be on Welcome to Channeling. In the beginning, I see the growth between the two of us. The emerald one that you just put up blew me away, and I was there. I was like, we made this, we did that. What?
Yeah,
just blew me away. And the Andara was going, yeah, I got blown away too. So yeah, it was exciting and so much joy. And I would love to be able to do something with Grace too, because like I said, I think when three come together, it can be woo. So yeah, that's my 2 cents worth.
Thank you, Sandy.
How much you
want to spit plug for Sandy Songjoy. Check her out.
Oh, there I go.
Obviously,
I went again.
She went on and out, but she's still here with us. Isn't that amazing? I have really enjoyed this season, and it's interesting. We're ending it at this crucial time of AA. Grace is here laughing. Both of you turned off your mics. Awesome. We're ending it at this like really deep time of the year, this, Lionsgate, like time of the year opening. And it's really, really interesting. I'm excited because I just have to say my first guest in next season, you guys, it's going to be epic. Okay. It's epic. I've already started, recording some of the episodes, and I just want to show people the new way we're going to look, because it's going to be a new look really quickly. I'm going to switch things out. Okay. That's going to be the new sign. And then the background is that. That's going to be the background. This is the new look for Welcome to Channeling. Sandy, I can't hear what you're saying, but it's hilarious, your face. So that's us right now. But before we leave, I want to leave you with one of my favorite moments this season that I experienced. And, when I connect with people, as you guys felt, you can really feel into some amazing things. And when I connected in with this person, even before our talk, I started feeling this person's son, because this is how she opened, really, was her son passed away, and this Claudia Milligan, and she was so dedicated that she was not going to lose her connection with her son.
And they've been on a journey together of maturation, of spiritual maturation and depth and understanding and opening. And his presence was so strong. I could feel him with her. And then when we connected, it became stronger. I felt him literally through my body and my system. And there was one point in the episode where it was so overwhelming. Like, it was like I felt his presence so strong in me and me want to express through him. And this is what I wanted to leave with everyone. I guess, there's all different kinds of ways we can channel or gifts that we have. But one of these things is that we can connect and know that death is not the end. It is not the end. It is just a new way, a new form of expression that we get to be in. And so I'm leaving this with you from the next season starting in to welcome to channeling. This loving thought, this beautiful thing, honoring the connection that we all are to each other. And so I'm going to bring in this and say bye-bye, everyone. And of course, at the end, we always say, own your stage and play on. Here we go with this beautiful, beautiful change.
There's a Patti Smith song after punk rock, and it's called Break It Down. And so my image when we talk about breaking down that wall is both David and I on either side of the wall, picking up a hammer and just knocking it down because it serves no purpose. There is no purpose to it.
Oh, I love that. This is so delightful.
It's so great.
Me. I love that.
Right back at you, Gwen.
Oh, I love it. Yes. I'm going to move on to a little bit more. I'm just, for a second, I'm really going to be here with this because I really feel almost as if David wants to speak through me. It's just so emotional. I just feel this love. It's almost as if this is a way that he gets to be here with you again, right? And he can look at you across the screen, you being delightful, you sharing your voyage, you talking about the steps you've made, you being vulnerable, you sharing the things that you've learned through this process. And there's just so much that I feel from him. It's like, I'm proud of you, Mom, and I knew you could do this. There's the sensation that I'm feeling that's so strong and it's so beautiful. And I know Gwen isn't David, but I just feel like saying, Mom, I'm so proud of you and I love you too. And I knew you could do this. And this was a part of what was planned. And we knew it and we know it now, but it's taken a while. It's taken a while, right? And it's okay that it's taken a while.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And
there we go. That was it. I literally felt when I was saying those words, him saying those words to me, I'm proud of you, Mom. And it's taken a while, but we knew this was, it was so beautiful. And anyways, I feel like I should have some romantic music behind us right now. Maybe I can add that in, just some beautiful music, sentimental. But I want to say thank you all for joining us on Welcome to Channeling. Grace, is there anything you want to leave us with? Because no, she's just crying. Sandra is just nodding. Big love to everyone. Thank you all. Sandy is singing! Sandy's song, Joy. Sandy, you can sing it out, right?
Yeah.
Love you truly, truly, dear. I love you truly, truly, dear. Oh, I love you truly, truly, dear. I love you truly, truly, dear.
angels. Thank you, angels, for being with us. Goodbye, everyone. See you in this next first episode of the 3rd season of Welcome to Channeling. It's going to be epic. It's going to explode. It's going to explode. Everything's going to explode. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be insane.
And we're going to survive it. Yes. Okay. Love to everyone. Bye. Click the link below to receive your very own free soul play meditation, reboot, or soul song. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Welcome to Channeling. Till the next episode, own your stage and play on.
Hot Muffin Media.